What's up, guys? PBD here, and welcome to episode 94 of my road to Manchester City. I know it's been a while. I haven't uploaded since, I think, Friday. Didn't upload on Monday, and there's two reasons, really. One, I've just been out of it, really. Like, I haven't enjoyed FIFA recently. Like I said before, I haven't been playing it much, and the game is kind of dead right now because we're waiting for Team of the Season. However, the good news is it starts on Friday. EA announced it on Monday, and it's going to be starting on Friday. It should be the most consistent on Friday, I think, so it won't be as great. But next week should be the Premier League, and that's when we're most likely going to be doing our big pack opening. Obviously, I could wait till La Liga to get to have a chance of getting like Ronaldo and stuff like that, but honestly, I'd rather, if I had the chance of packing a Team of the Season player, I'd rather it be a City player because that's the goal of the series, right? To get the best possible City player. And speaking of City players, actually, De Bruyne is predicted to get into the Team of the Week, which actually comes out today. Well, tomorrow for me, but today for you guys. On Wednesday, you're seeing this. So by the time this video is up, the Team of the Week will already be out. So De Bruyne may or may not be in it. And if he is, he'll be a 92 card. However, with him getting another inform, I'm pretty sure that kind of secures the fact that he is going to get a Team of the Season. So I'm preparing to spend big for the De Bruyne that we're most likely going to be getting in the Team of the Season next week. And part of me wants him to be a right mid, but the other part of me wants him to be a cam, because if he's a cam, he'll be so much better to play with and easier to play with. I can obviously still play with him at right mid and just swap him in game, but I don't want him to be a cam because he'll also be way more expensive than if he was a right mid. But we have so many coins, it doesn't really matter what position he gets. The only problem is if Aguero gets Team of the Season, and if Aguero and De Bruyne at cam gets a Team of the Season, then we might be in a tricky situation. However, I don't think Aguero gets Team of the Season because there's so many strikers, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. As you saw right there, we won the second round, I think that was, of the draft. We scored a goal, and then the game just disconnected. Like, the bar started loading. I'm like, oh god, we either get a win here or we get a DC loss or something like that. And we ended up getting the win, which was nice. So a quick win into the next round, into the semifinals actually of the draft. And we're going to go ahead and play it right now. I'm trying to finish the draft in this episode, and I do end up finishing it in this episode. I want to get these packs ready as quick as possible. I think we're going to end up doing another draft, to be honest. I've been enjoying the draft recently. It gives me a chance to play with players that are so good, and also that I never got a chance to play with throughout the year because I just never really spent big on these high special cards. But yeah, the second reason, I forgot to tell you guys the second reason why I haven't been uploading. I've just been so tired recently from work. It's just really tiring. And I don't really feel like coming home and editing a long video of gameplay. Is so long to edit. I know it might not seem like that, but it takes so much time to edit the gameplay. I don't know. I feel like my first excuse was definitely better. FIFA's just been a bit dead recently, and I haven't had much content to even upload. Like I told you guys, I don't really like doing gameplay by itself in a video. I like to have like SBCs and stuff like that, but it's been pretty dead recently. I haven't been selling anything that much because I don't really have anything that's worth anything just yet. I'm hoping that with Team of the Season, the SBCs do require high rated informs. We have a couple of those, so if we're lucky and they are required, we'll be selling some of those throughout Team of the Season. As for the one to watches, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm keeping Sane just in case he scores. As for the other guys, if you don't need them in Team of the Season, which I'm certain you won't need them, I'll probably just sell them for their minimum, and we're going to take a huge loss on that. But it is what it is. You make money, you lose money, and you just hope that you make more than you lose, right? But yeah, we head into the semifinals of the draft. We're tied 1-1. Very even game. Our opponent actually took the lead, and we equalized. And in the 65th minute over here, we went ahead and brought on some subs. I really enjoyed playing with this team. Obviously, if you just look at the team, you'll know why. It's honestly has like the best defense you can have, one of the best attacks you can have. Now the midfield is full of very good attackers, and That's not necessarily a amazing thing because while they're obviously so good on the ball and stuff like that, they don't really defend other than Nainggolan, but even then he likes to push up sometimes. So I did struggle a little bit in the midfield, but they were still very good. And in this game over here, we struggled the most. We didn't really play the second game in its entirety, to be fair. So can't really say we dominated in that one, but we got a pretty easy win in the first round, quick win in the second one with a little bit of luck right there. But yeah, I just knew that all it took was a decent opponent and our midfield would be exposed because of how attacking they are. And that was the case in this game. Our opponent was pretty decent and he had a decent midfield, so it was a tough game. But I felt like I was a little bit better and I could edge this one out. And over here, Mane, literally seconds after coming on as a sub, almost scores right there. However, not that great of a shot on his weak foot denies us the chance of going up 2-1, and that would actually mean that we end up going to extra time because nothing happened after that. And in the 103rd minute over here, Nainggolan lays it off to Bale to Griezmann has a shot, and we get a little bit of the cheese our way as the rebound falls perfectly to Bale, who makes it 2-1. And in the 120th minute over here, Alexandro takes the ball away from Griezmann, and the ref would say that is full time. So we hold on, and we get the 2-1 win, a really even game, but we edged it out with a little bit of luck on that Bale goal, and we're through to the final of the draft for like the 5th or 6th time now. I'm honestly surprised we've made it to the final this many times because I expect myself to like lose a couple of times in the second round or more often in the third round. But I guess all that Foot Champs experience that we have has made us a good enough player to where we can get to the final more often than not. But yeah, we went ahead, took a look at the trade pile. We sold a Nyang for 25k. I think we still lose money on him, but he's going for 15k, so we sold him to a lazy buyer, and we didn't lose as many coins as we would have if we sold him for what he's going for. So that's not too bad. But yeah, other than that, the trade pile, we're just not selling anything, to be honest. Like I said, nothing that I have is worthwhile at the moment, so we're gonna have to wait till Friday to see what happens. And I'm actually pretty excited for Friday because even though the team of the season most consistent isn't looking that great, they're going to do SBCs, and those SBCs should be good, hopefully. I don't know. We'll see. Will we do them? I don't know. It depends what they are, but I'm going to guess that they're going to do an SBC that gives you a team this season. And they're also doing something for the daily knockout tournament where you can win a team of the season player. Now, that is really cool because they introduced that last year. You know, back in FIFA 16 when there was Ultimate Team tournaments, now they're not a thing anymore. Now they only just have the daily knockout tournaments. They had a thing during Team of the Season where if you won it once, you got a Team of the Season player or something like that. And I actually ended up winning them all in the Road to Glory I had, and that was pretty fun. Or was it the Road to Glory, or did I just win them all in the trophy cabinet? It might have been the trophy cabinet. I have no idea. But yeah, I won all of them. I struggled with the League One one. But yeah, other than that, that was a really cool idea. And they're bringing it back this year, this time in daily knockout tournaments. It's obviously going to be a sweat fest. But I'm guessing that what they're going to do is, they actually may have said they're going to do this anyways, so I'm not even guessing. I think the 24th player, because there's only 23 players I think in the team of the season, the 24th player is going to be the one you get in the tournament. Now, knowing my luck, the 24th player is going to be a City player for the BPL one. And obviously, if it's a tournament player that you get, I don't think it would be an expensive one like De Bruyne and stuff like that. Last year, it was always the cheap ones. Like Sane was actually the one for the Bundesliga. Gonalons, like all those guys that are cheap and got team this seasons were the tournament price. So I'm not expecting a City player to be as a reward in those tournaments. But if there is a City player that's in the reward for the tournaments, I think it'll be Sane. Like, he's the only option, right? He's the only one that's decently cheap and has had a good season. So I'm not expecting a City player to get on. I don't think there's any chance at all of it being a City player, so that's kind of good. I mean, it does have its positives. If it was a tournament, we wouldn't have to spend a coin on it. But the negative about it being a tournament would be that it would be very stressful because everybody and their mom would want that card, and they would play like they do in Foot Champs, which isn't a fun time. But yeah, we went into the final 1-1. Our opponent took the lead. Then we equalized it. Bale goes on a great run right there, and unfortunately he cannot finish it on his strong foot. Was really annoyed with that because that was a really nice run by Bale. Just couldn't get the cherry on top of the cake. But in the 64th minute, we went ahead and brought on some subs. I think we took out Neymar, which is something I didn't really want to do, but since he had like the lowest stamina out of the whole team, I said, you know what, let's take him off and bring on a more defensive midfielder. While Marquisio isn't exactly more well, he is more defensive than Neymar, but he's not that much more defensive. I still really like Marquisio's card, and thought it was a fair enough substitute to make. And not too long after that substitution, Bale makes up for his earlier miss right there with a nice header, gives us the 2-1 lead. However, our celebrations would be short-lived because Hazard steals the ball right back from Walker. It falls to Dybala, who just turns around, shoots it like it's nothing, puts it into the bottom right corner, and equalizes it to make it 2-2. And we're actually playing a West Ham fan, I would think, because he's got his club name is Hammers FC. His abbreviation is WHU, which is obviously for West Ham United. He's got the West Ham badge, and I found that pretty cool because it's kind of like City versus West Ham. Even though neither of us have those players from those clubs in the draft, other than me. I have Sonny right there on the bench, but I don't think he had any West Ham player in there unless I missed it. But yeah, last time we played West Ham, I think we smacked them. It was back in like February, I think. I think we beat them in the cup like 4-0, and then we beat them in the league 5-0, or we beat them in the cup 5-0 and in the league 4-0. But yeah, we've smacked West Ham the last few times we played them. But I don't think that's a huge accomplishment. West Ham haven't had the greatest of seasons recently, but it's West Ham. Why do we care, right? Anyways, yeah, we take the lead right there. Sadio Mane comes in extra time because this game ended up going to extra time. I couldn't really create anything in the 90 minutes after he made it 2-2. But in extra time, we took the lead with Mane, and I thought I was on top of the world and I was going to win the game. But not too long after that Mane goal, he scores that. And if you saw that, the ball just kept bouncing right back to him no matter what I did. And I just thought to myself, man, this has got to be written in the stars that he is just meant to score here. And I don't know if I'm going to win this game. So we end up going to penalties. Never something I want to go through, especially in the final. But we score our first penalty over here. He steps up with, I think that's no, that's not Dybala, that's Florenzi. Somehow Viviano saves it with his legs and it doesn't go in the net. And then we score our second one with Mane over here. Mane slowly becoming a hero as a substitute in this game. Dybala misses his penalty, so we have a 2-goal lead in the penalty shootout. Looking good. Marquisio steps up, puts it into the bottom right corner. And that's something I noticed about this guy. He didn't know how to save the roller shots, whatever they're called, really. So I was just going to keep doing them because he didn't know how to save them. So I'm going to take advantage of that. And he ends up scoring with Mane, but it wouldn't matter because Griezmann gets the winning penalty, and we win. We win the draft final, and I'm pretty happy about that. We had a really good team, so I was kind of expecting to win it, but that sounds a little bit cocky. However, like I said, I felt like we were a little bit lucky to have won in penalties. Could have easily lost, obviously, but pretty good win. And that team, despite the midfield being a little bit too attacking, we held through, kept the composure after a couple of cheesy goals in the final, but it is what it is. And we got ourselves the draft win, which is nice. And we get ourselves a 35k pack, and I think that is a 15k pack, which isn't too shabby. I feel like that's a silver 2-ish reward you get from Foot Champs, which is probably not what you want to be getting in the draft final, but it is what it is. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is Pippi Deed. We'll be back for Team of the Season on Friday, and I'm out.